So example A, they give me this bottom angle is 22 degrees. Now, I'm also given a side. That's all you need is one angle and one side, and we should be able to find missing sides, all right? So if you guys look at this side over here that we're trying to find is across from the angle, not touching. So that's the opposite side. And then this side right here that's marked 18 is touching the 22. And it's not the hypotenuse, it's not the longest side. So this is the adjacent. So what I just did, I found the angle that I was given and I named the sides. Okay, if we have the opposite side and the adjacent side, go find which one has O and A. We need to use tangent, all right? So if you remember from yesterday, this is how we set it up. The tangent of the angle, which was 22, that's what's different today. The tangent of the angle, because that's my starting point, equals the opposite side, because O comes first, so X, over the adjacent side, which is 18. And then once you have this set up, all you have to do is solve for X, okay? So check this out. X is on top. I'm going to cover it up. We need to move the 18. So the opposite of dividing by 18 is to multiply. What you do to one side, you're going to do to the other, right? So what we need to type in into Desmos is 18 tangent of 22 equals X. That'll tell us what X is, okay? So let's head over to Desmos. All right, I did already change it to degree. You guys watched me do that. So watch what I'm going to type in. I'm going to type in, maybe, there we go. Keypad 18 functions tangent of 22 degrees. And it tells you what X will equal. So that side that I'm missing should be 7.27, right? Well, in our directions, they said round to the nearest tenth. So the side I'm missing, X, equals 7 point, that would round up to 3. Okay? So that's all you're doing today. I'm going to do a few more with you guys, make sure we're good. All right? So let's move on to B. First step, find your given angle. So I was given 56. Okay? Well, the first thing I notice is that this 30 is touching the 56. So that's my adjacent side. And then X, if you guys look at it, is across from the right angle. So that means it's the longest side. So this must be the hypotenuse. All right? Based on this 56. So we were given the adjacent side and the hypotenuse. This is all step one. Step two, figure out which one we use, sine, cosine, or tangent, if we need the adjacent and the hypotenuse. Well, A and H is underneath cosine. So remember from yesterday, I do cosine of the angle, which was 56, and it should equal the adjacent over the hypotenuse. So the adjacent side was 30, over the hypotenuse was X. Okay? Now, this one is a little different to solve. For this one, you guys are going to need to cover your X, right? But there's an issue, and you should have learned about this in Math 1. So if you had me or Miss Allred or Miss Kane, I know you definitely did, tune into this, make sure you're good. When you cover the X, it is in the denominator. So you can't do anything with it yet, right? We can't move the 30, it's in the numerator. We have to get rid of this X first. If you had me, I called it junk in the trunk, okay? So we have to move the X out of the denominator so we can isolate it. So instead of dividing by X to move it, I'm going to multiply on both sides. That'll move it over here. So now we have, I'm trying to figure out where to write because this is very small. X cosine of 56 should equal 30. And now that X is out of the denominator, when you cover it, we need to move this cosine 56, right? It's touching the X, which means they're multiplying. We know they're multiplying because I wrote that over here, right? So we need to divide this cosine 56 on both sides. So look, that gives us x by itself. So in Desmos, I need to type in 30 divided by cosine 56. So let's go do that. So in Desmos, I need to type in 30 divided by, go to functions, and we're doing the cosine of 56 degrees. So our missing side for this one is 53.6, okay? So for this one, for B, x should equal 53.6, which makes sense because my smallest side was 30. So I should be getting a number bigger than 30 for the longest side. So that looks good, all right? Sorry, y'all, my nose is itching. My allergies have been acting up. Okay, I'm going to do one more with you guys, and then I feel like we should be okay. If you're not, hop on, and I can do the others with you on Zoom, all right? So for C, find your given angle. It's right here. Okay? Then figure out which side you have. The x is all the way over here across from the 29. So that must be the opposite side. And then the 25, if you guys look, is across from the right angle, right? It's the long slanted side if you turn your paper like this. So we know the 25 should be the hypotenuse. Okay? So look at your trig functions. Just a hair. So opposite and hypotenuse, we should use sine. Some old hippie, right? So look, I'm going to do the sine of the angle, which was 29 degrees, and that should equal the opposite over the hypotenuse. So my opposite side was x, which is 25. Okay, if we want to solve for x in this one's like the first one. It's a little bit easier. So cover your x, multiply the 25 on both sides, right? Opposite of dividing, multiply it. And you already have x by itself now. So 25 sine of 29 will equal x. So now we just need to type this in Desmos and see what that missing side is, okay? So I'm going to Desmos, and I'm typing in 25, go to functions, sine of 29 degrees, and the missing side should be 12.1 if we round to the nearest tenth. So x equals 12.1. And I lied. I'm going to do one more with you guys where the x is in the denominator, just to make sure we're good with that, okay? Okay, it's not in that one. It is in this one. Perfect. All right. All right, so let's do F. It's right below it, okay? So find the angle you were given, 40 degrees. Figure out what sides you have. So the 15 is across from the 40, so that's the opposite. And then y'all take a look at the x. So the x is touching the 40, and it's not the long side across from the right angle, right? So this means this is my adjacent side. So if we were given opposite and adjacent, not old hippie, Lord Jesus, I can't spell, tripping on acid, OA, right? That would be tangent. Okay, so to set it up, I'm going to do the tangent of my angle, which was 40, should equal the opposite over the adjacent. So the opposite side was 15 over the adjacent side was x. Okay, the issue here is we have junk in the trunk. So I need to move the x out of the denominator so I can isolate it. So instead of dividing by x, we're going to multiply the x to the other side. So now we have x times the tangent of 40 equals 15. And now, Lord, she thought I said her name. Alexa's crazy, y'all. And now to get x by itself, instead of multiplying by tan of 40, I'm going to divide tan of 40 to the other side. Alexa, shut up. Oh, Jesus. All right, so x is now going to equal 15 divided by the tangent of 40, And if we type that into Desmos, it should tell us that missing side, okay? So, problem 4, 15 divided by, go to functions, and we're typing in the tangent of 40. So that missing side for this one, it says 17.8, but look behind the 8, that 7 is going to round it up. So this missing side should be 17.9. All right? Okay, so you've seen 2 examples where the x is in the numerator and the x is in the denominator. If you need or want me to do D and E with you, hop on Zoom with me, okay? Bye, y'all.